Hi, I'm Eric Franklin and this is Chelsea, and this video is part one in a two-part series about why it's not a good idea to grip your core. Not a good idea to habitually pull your belly button towards your spine. Let's first talk about breathing. Very super fast introduction into that. This is going to be our diaphragm, and these here are our organs. And the diaphragm is located just about there, attached to the lowest 6 ribs, the spine, and the sternum, like that. And when you inhale, what the diaphragm does is it moves down to help expand the lungs. So it moves down on inhalation and up on exhalation. Diaphragm moves down on inhalation, up on exhalation. And so you can see the organs for the diaphragm to be able to move need to get out of the way. They go down. They can't really go back very much because your spine is in the way. They go a little bit into the pelvic floor, but especially they go forward. And that's why when you breathe, we're going to touch our belly, you can sense that your belly goes out a little bit. And that's actually not a letting go of the abdominal wall. The tone of these muscles actually increases a little bit as they resist the movement of the organs. So it's a natural way to train the organs. If, however, you take your belly button and pull it towards your spine like that, the organs can't really move down very well. The diaphragm obviously is blocked. You can't expand your lungs, and your breathing is stuck. Now, some people would say, oh, well, I do rib breathing. I'll just breathe with my ribs. Well, first of all, in quiet, calm breathing, you really mostly use your diaphragm for breathing. So 80% of the breathing energy comes from your diaphragm. And another really important thing to realize, it's also your diaphragm that very much helps to lift your ribs. So if your diaphragm is not moving, it's going to be pretty hard to lift your ribs. So there we go. When we breathe, we need to let that diaphragm move. And we all know breathing is very important for energy, for stamina, 20,000 breaths a day. We gotta allow for full and complete breathing. And there's no reason why you can't stabilize and move and breathe at the same time. That's actually what we really need to do in exercise and daily life. Another reason why it's not good to pull your belly button in is because behind the organs here, just the back of the diaphragm, you have the aorta. And the aorta is that blood vessel that brings the blood from the heart into the lower body. If you push the organs in like that and hold your diaphragm, then the aorta gets compressed. It's harder for the blood to go down. Instead, where does it go? It goes up. And that's why if you pull your belly button in, just try it for a moment, and you maybe do some kind of movement, lift your arms or something like that, you're going to feel this compression here in your head. And what you're feeling is the capillaries are increasing their pressure. And that's not good for you. And especially if you're elderly, that even can be dangerous. So we've got to allow this area to move while we stabilize. And another interesting thing to note is the constant in and out movement of the abdominal wall is your permanent natural training of the abdominals. So let's see if we can combine breathing, stabilizing, and moving into one exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to use one hand to model the movement of the diaphragm, and we're going to use another hand to model the movement of the abdominal wall. And these are antagonistic muscles, so they're both moving all the time when we're breathing and in every position we move our body into. So here we go. One hand to model the diaphragm, one hand to model the movement of the abdominal wall. So let's inhale, diaphragm down, abdominals out, exhale, diaphragm up, abdominals in. One more time, diaphragm down, abdominals out, abdominals in, diaphragm up. So that exhalation is the natural inward movement of the belly button. You don't need to force it. It moves in naturally on exhalation. Let's do that again. So there we go. But now we need to be able to do this in movement. So we're going to keep this action going, the breathing action going, as we flex our spine. There we go. Inhale, exhale, and extend our spine. Inhale, exhale, then laterally flex our spine. Inhale, exhale. There we go. So this is a really good exercise to keep breathing going as you're doing movement. And you'll notice this is quite challenging if you haven't done this before, but it will increase the training of your abdominals in a natural way. Lateral flexion, of course, very much an action of the oblique abdominals. And now let's do rotation to the right. Keep breathing. Diaphragm down, abdominal wall out and in. Other side, inhale, exhale. Let's do that one more time. Great exercise for your abdominals. So you're training them through movement and breathing at the same time. One more time. You can probably sense your abdominals as you're doing this. Really getting a bit of a workout, and there we go. And then just relax for a moment, and you'll probably feel more tone in this area. Your belly button has naturally dropped backwards towards your spine. There we go. And make sure also to watch part 2 in this series, why it's not a good idea to grip your abdominals and pull your belly button in and what to do about it. So if you like this video, please go to our website, franklinmethod.com, sign up for our free video newsletter and gain more insights into the efficient function of your body. Thanks for watching and see you next time.